Barak Yahweh Alam. Shalom, righteous family. Welcome back to TRU-TALK. Gang banging. You bang? I remember that's one of the first things I heard when I first did some time as a juvenile. Then I went to a YDC or RYDC, or whatever they call it. And it was my first time introduced to gangs. I was around people that was from bigger cities, people that was a part of gang. And where I'm from, I heard of gang, but there was nobody gang banging like that. Plus, I was young. I was still young. But somebody asked me, "You bang?" At first, I didn't know what he was talking about. And he threw his hands up in a funny way and said it again. "You bang?" But then I knew what he was talking about. And I said, "Nah." And I learned, during that time, in that period, in this little YDC that I was in a little small part of Georgia, you either hung with your gang members that you was from or the city that you was from. And there was barely anybody from my city there. Now, don't get me wrong, there was people there, like couple in this gone, couple in that gone. I met somebody where I from he was in the lunchroom, he was passing out food. And he used to always hook me up because we was from the same city. He said, "Where you from?" And I told him. He was like, "Yeah, I'm from there too, man." And he used to always put extra food on my plate. But in the dome that I was in, I was the only one from my city. And you had Crips, you had Bloods, you had folks, and then you had those that rolled with their city. And then you had some that just rolled with their area code. But there was more Crips than Bloods. And I became buddies with a Blood. I never forget his last name was Roundtree. I don't remember his first name, but they used to call us by our last name. He was real short, buff. We hit it off, man. We hit it off. As soon as I seen him, he seen me, we hit it off. And the first couple of weeks in there was rough for me. Don't get it wrong, I was holding my own. It's just that I had to go up against all these Crip dudes because I got it in with this Crip dude, and all the Crips was so-called against me now. So it seemed like every other day I was getting jumped, but they couldn't never get the best of me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Crips that had problems with me had problems with him also because he was a Blood. but they kind of feared him, so they didn't mess with him too much. And when he seen me, he was like, I thought you was a blood when you came in here. And I was like, nah, why you thought that? He was like, man, just the way that you move like a blood. He was like, I know you ain't a, I'm not gonna say the word, but he said what they consider a slow word for a Crip. And I got cool with him. And I became what you call affiliated. Now, I never got actually put down, but he was gonna put me down. You know, he taught me everything that I need to know, the handshakes, the rules, the slangs we called them, the things they will call us, the disrespect. He told me what I had to do to get up in rank. He basically gave me the playbook, which I learned was he wasn't supposed to do. You're supposed to wait till you get affiliated, till you get put in before you get somebody the playbook. But he went ahead and gave me the playbook because, man, we was brothers. We rolled together. And when I started hanging with him, the Crips dudes, they kind of backed off me a little bit. I already wasn't forced by myself, but when I got with him, it was like, nah, we can't do nothing. And it was crazy because it was just the two of us against like 6, 7 of them. And that's what started this psychological hate for Crips, for my own brother, for anybody that said it was Crip, you know, they became my enemies. You do what? Oh, I don't like the blue. And blue used to be one of my favorite colors. And I really couldn't get down with red. And all of a sudden, red became my favorite color. And all of a sudden, you know, a little female said, you know, you look good in red. So now I'm like, okay, I done found my lane, you know what I'm saying? And plus it just seemed like, and I'm just keep it real, it just seemed like all the bloods that I met was just real. And I don't mean that in a righteous, yeah, I do mean that in a righteous way. Like they had more morals. They meant what they said and it was about their business. That's what I mean about real. And it seemed like every Crip that I came across, they was always fake, just full of lies, boastful, you know, say they're gonna do something for you, don't do nothing for you. So this whole, you know, I call it the devil setting me up for trying to say these people are my enemies, that anybody that wear this color or be associated with this is how they are. And he told me, he said, you know, when he was gonna put me down, you know, and actually I was either, he said I can either get jumped in or I can kill somebody, or not just anybody, but yeah, basically anybody, but for the most part, a crip or a folk, somebody out of the game. And that will get me high in status. Not only will I be in, but I have more ranks. And the more dirt you do, the more, you know, 'cause first you be kind of what they call foot soldiers. Whoever puts you in, you honor them. And they send you left or right and you go. You got to take their orders and they never send you out to do something good for the community. They never send you out to say, help that old lady cross the street. Never send you out to say, hey, let's go clean up the community. It always to rob and steal and kill. And you know, if you do time or get locked up, all that builds up your rank and resume and you get known. And when you get up in rank, you can have soldiers up under you. So you see the whole idea was to be able to come up, you had to do dirt. And to go into jail, yeah, if you was in the game, it was like an honor. You go to jail and keep your mouth shut, you come out with higher ranks. While you in jail, you handle your business and word get out. You come out with higher ranks. But then he told me, about a violation, some of the things that you wasn't supposed to do. And if you do, it's called a violation. You will have to get violated. Basically, they'll beat you half to death to teach you. 3 or 4 of them will jump you. And when they jump you, they not playing. They don't care how cool you are, how much y'all hang, they trying to hurt you. Break a couple ribs, break a jaw to teach you not to do this no more. Or they'll just put you out. And I'm not too familiar with those politics, but he told me, once you get in, there ain't no way out. He said you can put your flag down, but you can never really get out. Putting your flag down just means I'm not going to rep it. But somehow you still involved because it's blood in and blood out, as they say. So as I was pondering over this and I was, doing the handshakes with him and kicking it with him, and he was making it sound gooder and gooder to me. And, he was like, man, you know what? And basically he lied to me, like most of them do. He made me feel like I was going to be part of a family that was always going to have my back. And he was like, man, you got dudes that we're going to get to the money. And if you ever get locked up and you got a baby mama, dudes on the street, they're going to make sure your girl's straight. They're going to make sure your baby's straight. If you ever die, they're going to make sure your family's straight. If you locked up, they're going to make sure your mama's straight part time. If you can't, provide for your mama or do something for your mama, the gang going to be there to pay your bills, make sure she's straight. And as all this going on, I still was reading the scriptures and praying, but I didn't, I didn't really understand being set apart and walking fully in the Most High. And it dawned on me while I was sitting at the table, he was telling me this, and I was like, why do I have to join the game for you to do that for me? If you my boy, if we cool, that's supposed to be automatic. You supposed to, if you able to help me in any way, then that should be, I shouldn't have to join no organization for that to have to take place. And then when he was talking about the violation and how they'll violate me, and I said, if y'all talk, you talking about, I said, you talking about brotherhood and love. But I said, if I do something like that and I said, you gotta violate me? You're like, yeah, that's a part of the game. I said, what about the love? What about the brotherhood? And then his true color came out. He said, nigga, love. I said, it's love for the game, nigga. I said, oh, okay. So all this brotherly love and game, baby, this love that you made like you got for me. It's not really no love for me. It's love for this game. It's love for what it stands for, which is not love at all. If it's steady putting me in harm's way, steady putting my life on danger. And like he's talking about, talking about when you go to jail, we'll take care of your family. All that was BS. Make game bangers, new game bangers, They got locked up. They partner had a baby by their old lady. They partners ain't putting money on their books. And they locked up as them by themselves and whatever part of the game they is, is them in that game, in that cell, but they so-called partners on the street, 98%, I'm gonna give credit to 2%, but 98% of them is not uh, writing letters to their homeboys locked up, not putting money on the books, not visiting, not giving, not taking care of their children or their baby mama or none of that. Because a lot of them down bad themselves. Ain't nobody got it like that. It's all a struggle or hustle. But I never joined, never got put in, just was affiliated. And he said I was a BOF or a FOB, a friend of bloods. And, I told him straight up, I said, I'm not getting down. And he respected. He said, "Well, you can be a FOB." I said, "What's an FOB?" He was like, "Friend of bloods." I was like, "Cool." And I say all that because I understand what draw the young people into gang banging, the excitement of it. When I was learning how to throw up the gang signs and do the hand signs, it made me feel some type of way. Made me feel like some type of power. And even when I got out, I kept wearing red. I knew some of the codes and the gang signs. And actually, I met a blood that was in my city, and I started hanging with him. But I'm telling y'all all this because banging, gang banging. Why do so many of our young men get involved with this? Now, we all know how it started. It started to protect the neighborhood. And it's crazy because most gang bangers know this, that it started out to be a protection of the neighborhood. And they know this, but they still participate in the foolishness of the gang culture that has been destructed and not a protection to the neighborhood. But as I started dealing with the Most High, I realized that I too was a banger, that I bang just in a different way. You see, because we are unique people, we do things for a reason. Like maybe the rest of the world, they can't understand it. But when I read the scripture, it comes alive to me. And I understand why we do certain things, because we made different. See, we was created to represent. Remember I told you the devil, he don't create nothing. He just corrupt everything. We was meant to represent the Most High. We were supposed to go around the whole world repping Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yahweh Yahushua, the great I am, the Almighty, his son. We were supposed to rep him. And can't nobody rep like Hebrews. Can't nobody represent and put on like Hebrews. Y'all know this evidence. We in the, we the one that made the U.S. popular and hot. We the one that made certain cities popular and hot. Now, and they say that we are the majorities, which we are. We are the majority in the United States. Most of our people ain't got nothing. Most of us are below the poverty line or at the poverty line. How come we rep America in the cities of America better than the so-called Caucasian? Ludacris got a song called Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play. And they ride on things like every day. Put Atlanta on the map. Welcome to Atlanta. Another song he made, Georgia. Oh yeah, an old school song talking about Georgia. Can't think of the other man name made a song uh, about Mississippi. The St. Louis boys, Nelly, made songs about Air Force Ones. Put Air Force Ones on the map. Not even our shoes. They didn't even have a contract to do that. Made Air Force One millions and millions of dollars. Big boys stumping in my Air Force One, just repping for some shoes, made it popular. Welcome to New York. Like all these songs, California love, putting these cities on the map, making people want to go to these cities. Everybody listen to these songs, Caucasian Asians. And we in the land of our captivity. Not that many in the city. But we making songs about cities and shoes and clothes. And we rep. And that's what we do. We make it popular. Judah stand for praise. Can't nobody praise like us, worship like us, but we do it in the wrong way. That's why I'm saying all y'all rappers that got talent. Yeah, you was meant to rep and praise, but it was for the Most High. That's what it was meant. It was meant to put Jerusalem on the map. We can make songs about California and Atlanta and New York. We were supposed to rap about the Most High city, Jerusalem. And shout out to Hezekiah and the Rock the Bar and Eshawn and all the true rappers that's rapping about the Most High and representing the Most High in a righteous way, as we should when we do it our talent. But yeah, we were supposed to rap about Jerusalem. Jerusalem was supposed to be that city that we put on the map. But when I started looking at it close, because he said something to me. He said, blood in and blood out. And I remember watching the movie. I think it was called Blood In and Blood Out. And it was about gang banging. And I got to bring this up because Exodus 24, we'll start at verse 6. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in a basin, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Verse 7. And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience of the people. And they said, all Yahweh has said, we will do and obey. This is our ancestors. This is what they said. Verse 8, and Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which Yahweh has made with you concerning all these words. You know what just happened though? Do anybody know what just happened now? I'm gonna tell you what happened. Our ancestors into the blood covenant. Blood in, blood out. You know, in the games, you can be born in the game or you can join the game. You can be born in it when your family members are already in it and they have you and you automatic be in it. And they call it being born in it. Or you can have no affiliation, no family members in it, but you just join in it. You can be born in there, join in it. When you a Hebrew Israelite, a so-called African American, a descendant of slaves, you are born in it. This covenant. You affiliate, whether if you like it or not. And it's blood in or blood out. It's a blood covenant. You can't get in, you can't get out. It's an everlasting covenant. The only way you can get out is die. And you still not out. That's why blood had to be shed, because Messiah, he had to pay the price because we had a debt to pay. We, so-called violation, we violated. And that's another thing when he was talking about violation. There's certain laws or that these gang members live by. You know, you kind of heard the streets of the codes of the streets and the rules of the streets. Well, we as bangers of Yahweh. And why do I say banger? Because you see these flags, right? You see the red, the blue bandana, and the red bandana. Wherever bandana you associate or claim, that's what gang you is. If you claim this bandana, the blue one, because it's blue, you associate yourself with Crip. If you claim the red bandana, then you rep blood. Let me show you the bandana that I claim. Exodus chapter 17, and we're going to jump right down here to verse 15. Now, this is talking about a war that went on. And the Most High allowed for the Israelites to overcome. And Moses built an altar and called the name YHWH-nissi, which means Yahweh my bandana. So he was saying, this what I represent. Yahweh, the Most High, is our banner. He's what we're a part of. He what we affiliated. Every time we go into war, we throwing up the flag. You know, when gang bangers, everywhere they go, they known by their banner. If they got a blue flag or a red flag, you know who they're affiliated with. If the banner red or blue, you know who they affiliated with colors they got on. You can tell by their outfit usually time. But everybody wear red, and everybody wear blue. But it's that bandana that set them off different. And speaking about outfits, we got our own little outfit. We got our banner, which is Yahuwah is our banner. You know, it's spiritual. We don't really need a flag. That's what we bang. That's what we carry. We carry him. He's our banner. That's what banner is your we his name, who he is. That's our banner. That's what we throw up. That's what we dangle. And I'm just sharing my thoughts. This may sound crazy to some people. Remember this true talk. You know what I'm saying? I speak according to the scriptures. But you know, I'm gonna just share my opinion how I feel and keep it true with y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I may say some things you don't agree with, but I'm not gonna lie. But I'm making a point because a lot of people act like you gotta change, and you do. But a lot of things is that's the essence of who we are, and we just gotta change what we doing it for and how we doing it. But you know, you ever walk somewhere and you see a brother or a sister with fringes, and you already know that's a Hebrew. They down with what you down for. They on the same code, at least should be, but you know, that's not how it is all the time. But nevertheless, it's like a breath of fresh air when you somewhere around strangers and you don't know nobody and you just see somebody with some fringes. It's like, oh, it's like meeting somebody part of your game. You be happy, like, what's up, Hebrew? I see you got your fringes on. Like that's how we represent one another. That's how we recognize one another through that, them fringes. But we don't live by the codes of the street. We live by the laws and statutes of the Most High. And it tells us about being our brother keeper. Brotherhood, it's all about brotherhood and being there for one another and taking up for one another. But see, it was different when it wasn't when we see somebody of our own kind with a different color attack them. The Father said, don't suffer a rich to live. So if we seen a rich, it was, oh yeah, we gonna ride. If somebody was trying to turn the whole city against Yahuwah, basically against the game, trying to penetrate the game and come at the boss. Oh yeah, they getting dealt with. Everybody riding. It says the whole city had to stone them. Even your family member had to stone you. So it's in us, and plus we are warriors. Scripture called Judah, we lions. It's in us to go to war, but for the right reason. We going to war with each other. It's amazing sometimes because we so peaceful and cool, but then we can be so violent towards one another. You know, a lot of times people think killers are just these mean dudes that's me mugging, face full of tattoos. It's like, nah, you never really met a killer. I done been locked up with a couple killers and knew a couple killers. They like regular people. You know the saying, killers ain't got no face. And you like, what? Dude got how many bodies on him? Be the most laid back, funniest dude. Seemed like he couldn't hurt or fly. That goes back to the gun being the most careless thing that it's easy to take a life when you got a gun. But nevertheless, it's because just like the Most High got two sides. Yes, he's a God of love. He's peaceful, but he also the God of war. And any Negro, African American know it's in us. We can get down like that. And we can get down like that like any other race because that's how we built. We are warriors. But we going to war with each other for the wrong reason. We supposed to be going to war for the Most High, for the right reason, fighting against evil. And we supposed to be representing him, making his name popular through the earth, not making Atlanta popular, not making drugs popular, not making wickedness popular, making righteousness. popular. Do you bang? Yeah, I bang. YHWH-NASA. YHWH-NASA. Yahuwah is my banner. That's my flag. And who I take orders from him. He's the big dog, the OG. He's the Godfather. You know, they make movies talking about the Godfather. He's the true Godfather. And yeah, I'm gonna ride and die for him. Just like these gangbangers will ride and die for they so-called gang. Just like if they gang leader tell them to do this and do that, that they obligated to do it, or they'll violate. The same thing with my father. But he's not gonna tell me to go rob and steal. He's gonna tell me to clean up the community, to help the old lady cross the street. He's gonna tell me to keep peace with my brother. And I gotta follow the guy, I gotta obey him. Well, if I violate it, it's not because love of the game, it's because he loved me. He gonna chastise me. Yeah, he gonna chastise me if I violate. But it ain't love for the game, it's truly love for me. So yeah, I'm in this thing for life. My ancestor made a blood covenant. I was born in it. It's what I'm gonna die for, it's what I represent. If we was willing to die for something silly, for colors, I'm willing to die for my maker, Yahuwah. That's my blender. That's what I represent. That's what I throw up. I throw up his name. His name is my bandana. He's my protection. He's the Godfather. And we got laws and rules to follow. We got certain clothes to wear and can't wear. I can't wear linen mixed with wool. I'm supposed to have fringes on my garment. I'm supposed to have a beard on my face. You know, if your grill, however some people can't grow beards, however your grill grow. But nevertheless, it's the same thing, but in a different way. Just as much I was passionate about one time being a game banger, I'm even more passionate about the Most High. And just like me and many other people is gonna die behind a color, I'm ready to die behind my Heavenly Father and my Savior, Yahushua. Because it's in our nature, the way that we walk, the way that we are. We just gotta use it for the right things. So yeah, I bang. I'm not a game banger, but I bang. And it's a blood covenant. Blood in, blood out. I'm in it for life. I'm gonna continue to rep it. And I advise all the young dudes that you ain't gotta join in it, but because you already born in it. You just gotta pick that flag up, Yahuwah, your bandana, and you gotta rep that thing. You see these two brothers right here, Crip blood, blood Crip. same brothers, more likely from the same tribe, Yahuda. They supposed to be together, just like they is now. They don't supposed to be one against each other. But we can turn the block up and murder one another, and how much more when we come together, the enemy be shaking in their boots. We supposed to be throwing up Yahuwah. We supposed to be living by his code. These two is what you call the son of Satan instead of the Most High. Because there are really only two sides. You either on the Father's side or you on the devil's side. So yeah, righteousness, being real. That's what I'm about. Wickedness wrong. Nevertheless, and one more thing, I just gotta let you know. When you blood and crip, it may be you against, you against the other side, you against the hood, but it's you against the world. And you might have your own brothers, like these brothers right here, the seed of Satan, that's representing Satan gang. And this is why Satan kingdom is even though it's steady thriving, it's gonna fall because a kingdom divided in itself will not stand. And that's why Satan kingdom will not stand. Both of these dudes are wicked, but they're against one another. This is Satan kingdom. Satan kingdom got turmoil all in it, and it's not gonna stand. In the Most High kingdom, we all on one accord. We all one. They separate, and it's us against the world. And these dudes, even though they are our brother, they are considered our enemies because they on the other team. They working for Hasatan. But we not commanded to kill them. We commanded to try to save their soul. We're gonna protect ourselves, but we commanded to try to save their soul. To try to get them to come on the right side. But the boss man, he gonna deal with his enemy personally. You know how you have dudes that they be ahead of something, but they don't never put work in. They always send dudes out to do their dirty work. That's not how my boss is. The Heavenly Father, the real Godfather, the real OG, he handle business himself. Life is death in his hands. He got hitters he called angels, death angels that he sent out. And he dealing with his ops, his enemies every day. But on one specific day, he gonna deal with it all. On that judgment day, he gonna say, "Oh, what you claim? What side you were? Oh, you from what block? You bang what? Oh, so you ain't with me then." He gonna sit on that throne. They gonna bow a knee. Every knee gonna bow. And the Most High Son gonna judge. And it's gonna be either you was on his team or you was on Hasatan team. So what do you bang? I'm gonna ask you just what that dude asked me when I first went into the juvenile. You bang? What you claim? What you bang? because what you say can get you killed. Because Heavenly Father, the angels are listening. Death angels are listening. Messiah says, you deny me before man, I deny you before my Father. Till next time, Shalom.